Welcome to the Geeks Attic. This is a book review of Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Star Wars Shadows of the Empire was written by best-selling author Steve Perry. This expanded universe tale takes place during the Rebellion era, 3 years after the Battle of Yavin. Now, before I get into my overall thoughts, I'm going to give a brief summary, and I'd like you to comment down below and let me know your thoughts of this book. Lando, Chewie, and Leia are on the search for Han Solo, who was taken by Boba Fett aboard the ship Slave One after being frozen in carbonite. We saw that in the movie The Empire Strikes Back. Lando calls on his old buddy Dash Rendar to assist in the investigation. Prince Xizor, or Shizor, I've heard both. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but we'll stick with Xizor. Xizor, leader of the Black Sun, which is the largest criminal organization in the galaxy, wants to be the right-hand man of Emperor Palpatine. However, he faces one challenge, and that is Darth Vader. Darth Vader is responsible for the death of Xizor's family. Now Xizor will do what he can to get his revenge. The many pieces of Emperor Palpatine's puzzle are falling into place. The events that are going on right now are aligned with his vision of things to come. So now I'm going to get into my overall thoughts. And I would like you to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, so you'll be notified when I post more videos. Anyway, I did it. I made it through this book a second time. That's right. I've read this book once before, and I've got to say, I enjoyed it a little bit better this time around than I did the first time I read it. The elements of the story that I still don't like are the pervy little things that the author had to throw into the book, such as the foreshadowing of Lando telling Leia not to get in bed with Black Sun. Get it? In bed with Black Sun. To have Xizor, a Faline species that uses pheromones to manipulate others. It was a gross thing reading Xizor's attempt to seduce Leia. They even kiss. It's just like, come on. Why you got to do this? What I love about Shadows of the Empire is that it goes beyond just a book. It was a book, a comic book, a video game. It ties into the movies. There were toys. There's a soundtrack. That's awesome. Stephen Perry, or Steve Perry, I don't know if he goes by Stephen or Steve, but he did a fine job of showing us Luke constructing a new lightsaber in Kenobi's old hut on Tatooine. It was cool getting a story between two fantastic Star Wars films, The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Perry did well establishing a solid motive for a new villain. The main reason Xizor hates Vader is because years ago, Vader sterilized a planet after a failed biological weapons incident. Now, in order to protect the planet, the city that had the biological labs were destroyed, killing Xizor's family. Now, Xizor was off-planet when this happened. He managed to delete any record of his family's death, so he had no ties. It appeared that he had no emotional ties whatsoever, and it's mentioned that 200,000 Faline had been killed in that incident. So, yeah, he's pretty angry with Vader. You understand why he wants to kill him. Overall, the story is pretty decent. However, I still prefer the Nintendo 64 version of the story a little bit better. Of course, you get to play the story and you get to see it from a little bit of a different perspective, and that's fun. But the soundtrack also, I highly recommend that one. I used to dog on that one, thinking that it was pretty lame because of the demo tracks, but when I purchased the soundtrack and listened to it in full, I thought this was a pretty solid soundtrack, a great addition to the Star Wars music library. There are little hints that you can pick out to compare to newer Star Wars films. Some similarities in there, especially with the Rogue One soundtrack, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, I mean, overall, decent book, decent story. Just take out the pervy stuff. So for the rating, I will give Star Wars Shadows of the Empire a B+. So much better on the second read through. So yeah, if you haven't followed me yet on X, do so. Hit that subscribe button here and hit that thumbs up. Have a good one.